Hey, howdy, and a big welcome back to Clemhawks, folks. I'm Yak, ready to take you through today's NHL offering. Today, a big day in the MLB, and Clem's got the wraps on that, I do believe, sometime later tonight. However, folks, it is a big time situation here tonight in the NHL. Coming down the big contract that the Calgary Flames needed to deal with this offseason, not named Gaudreau and Matthew Tkachuk, and that is, of course, Mr. Andrew Mangiapane, who signs a decent little contract for himself. I don't know if you could call it a good contract for the Calgary Flames, but Mangiapane has re-signed for 3 years at $5.8 per against the cap for the Calgary Flames. Now, you got to remember here where, as an Oilers fan, for the Oilers, they got Evander Kane much cheaper, and I'd say Evander Kane is going to be a much more impactful player for the Calgary Flames, or for the Edmonton Oilers, than Andrew Mangiapane sans Johnny Gaudreau and Matthew Tkachuk is going to be for the Calgary Flames. So right now the Calgary Flames almost up against the cap, $1.2 million left. And it looks like Mangiapane is now the second highest paid forward in Calgary, depending on what happens with Sean Monahan when it comes to training camp this season, because he does lead the way at 6.37. So, folks, that's what you need to know. Andrew Mangiapane, 3 years, $5.8 million against the cap for the Calgary Flames. So, it's a good bet, right? I can trash the Flames on this one all I want, but it is a good bet for the Flames. I'll explain more of that in a second. But folks, if you're new to the channel, you're checking out what we're doing here. I'm Yak, this is Clemhawks. We talk hockey, we talk MLB, and what I got to really tell you about is, just simply put, we're on a mission here, and we're closing in on 4,000 subscribers. If you feel like sticking around for B-grade hockey talk, why not do it? B-grade baseball talk, do it, and hit that subscribe button. But anyway, why this is a good bet for the Calgary Flames? It's quite simple. 5.8 today is an overpayment for Andrew Mangiapane, who just had one good season, technically speaking. I know he's put up stronger numbers year over year over year, but of course last year being a very strong year for him, and now he gets the big contract in lieu of that, right? Mangiapane coming off a 35-goal season. Prior to that, putting up 32 points in the bubble season, and 32 points in 19-20 in 68 games played, and then having a total of 13 points in 54 games prior to that. The guy has 0.5 points per game in his career, 55 points in 82 games this season, including 6 playoff points in 12 games. Okay, you know what? Yeah, I get where the Flames are going with this one. It quite simply makes sense. You're betting on a guy who broke out in a big way and just put up a 55-point campaign to settle around that 60-65 point plateau, right? Like, if every year's just gotten better and better for him when it comes to Andrew Mangiapane. And this is coming from an Oilers fan perspective, so I can't tell you exactly what's going to make sense here for Flames fans. But when it comes to Andrew Mangiapane, if every season's been better and better, you're betting now. You pay him now to secure that better and better. It's almost the reverse of what the Oilers are doing with Jesse Puljujarvi, right? The Oilers signed Puljujarvi for 1 year. Everyone's expecting a trade, but if he stays and explodes and you fall flat on your face for not paying him now, which is what a lot of fans were screaming for, you got a problem, right? So now with Andrew Mangiapane, the Flames have done the opposite. They've paid him now, and you hope you don't fall on your face flat because he regresses, but you've got that positive growth chart from Mangiapane, who's still a fairly young guy in the league and has that potential to go up and sit at 65 for 3 straight years at 5.8 mil. That's a stellar get for most NHL teams nowadays, and especially year number 3 of that contract. That's where it's going to be really special. That 2024-2025 season. That's where things really start getting screwy for us, folks, because we've been promised the salary cap is going up big time around 2024. Well, all of a sudden you talk about a 65-point guy signed to a $5.8 million, you 1 year into the salary cap going up, you're living on bonus money. You're living on free money at that point. So it's a great bet. Problem is, right, it's an overpay now, just not necessarily 100% an overpay. I'm not saying that. Probably about a 52% overpay on Andrew Mangiapane right now, right? If you settled in at 4.2, probably an Evander Kane kind of contract is perfectly where it should be, but you're just reaching enough to make it worth it when that cap goes up later. That's what I'm getting at. Folks, I'm Yak. This is Clemhawks. I am up on out of here.